All right. So editing, editing's kind of your thing. Do you prefer editing or directing? Or do you have a favorite?
To tell you the truth, I actually really like acting, which is kind of strange because I've really gotten into the whole directing side of it. I actually got into the directing side of it because I wanted to do the acting. But I really like doing effects as well. It's sort of something I stumbled upon when I was like really young. I started doing flares for guns, and I did single frame painting of flares for like some of my early movies. Used MS Paint for my channel of effects, which is kind of ridiculous. But now I'm doing this, which was with Ty Gotham and Andrew Green and some other people that come along once in a while, like Car Liddens, and so I don't know exactly how to say her last name. She's gonna hate me if she sees this video. And so, yeah, but it's really great. I'm doing stuff that I've always wanted to do, like put weird backgrounds in and make flashes on stuff, and I can totally do real moving, gun flares or whatever you call them now. So, yeah, it's pretty awesome what we're doing here on Monday nights.
Very cool. Is there a goal that you aspire to as an editor or as an actor, somewhere that you'd like to see yourself in 5 years?
Yeesh. Well, I'd really like to have have an own film company somewhere where I can actually creatively express myself without the constraints of other people, which you're always going to have constraints of other people, I know that. But have a community that just is really supportive of the work that we can do together and all that kind of stuff. I think that would be somewhere I'd like to be in a few years, 5 years. If not, I'd like to be doing something in the creative realm, even if it isn't editing or acting. Yeah.
Cool. As far as editing goes, what's your favorite thing to do?
Give me an interview and you won't have my attention. I'll tell you that. I really hate editing interview, but I really, really, really like editing story. Story is something that I feel is organic. It has a flow to it, so you don't have to worry about little technicalities like oh well, should we cut this or should we not cut this? Story is pretty definite. We keep everything, and then in the end, the final cut, then you look at it and you go, well, I'm going to cut this out or cut that out. So I really like editing story, and within editing story, I love doing effects. I've actually been spending way too much time on this one film that I've been doing, which really isn't even I don't think all that impressive, because it was done really on short notice and the transitions are really crappy. But as far as a film where I get to practice doing some special effects is pretty cool. I get to do some ghost effects and some crazy fairy effects and I don't know, weird crap like that.
So when you say you like to do story, define story for us, because a lot of people think that interviews, can be stories as well.
Yeah. Story as in see, I always get asked this question, well, interviews can be stories too. Well, I always looked at interviews as sort of the I don't know, the academic side of film. It's more of the documentary, the church, info film, or the commercial. The commercials, there's so much creative license you do with commercials now too that I don't really think that it's sort of like an in-between field or genre of film. But story is more of what I think of as a streamlined, something that's been planned out by someone. Some documentaries can become stories, Um, but a lot of times it's just, I don't know. There's a lot of, I like the control aspect. Having too much footage or whatever just sometimes just drives me crazy. Yeah.
So when you say story, you're talking about like film and like short film and feature film.
Yeah, more along that line.
You can begin your own production company, which would be awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just then you'd be producing your own work, or you'd be hiring somebody to produce for you.
My one friend, he's actually training to be a director and a producer. He's also doing some editing as well. I think he's going to be that, what they call the predator, or whatever. I don't know, director, producer, editor. But I probably have him do most of my production. He's very, I don't know, he's a go-getter. He gets things done. He makes sure people are on time. He makes sure deadlines are met, and he's also very creative. So I look forward to like working with him, especially. And I'd probably let him do my producing mostly, and I probably do most of his editing and probably some of his directing and maybe some of his story writing, because he does pretty good story, but sometimes he gets caught up in the I want to do this special effect, so let's make it happen. But he's a great guy. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thanks a lot for your time. It's been really cool.
Yeah, no problem.
And that's just going to be the end there.